Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. So I'm coming back today with a subject matter, and I wish I remember who mentioned this. If I remember before I'm done, I will tell you who this came from. It jogged my memory about it. But I wanted to talk about analysis paralysis. Have you guys ever heard of this phrase? Sometimes we hear phrases and we don't always know what they mean and don't really dig into it, but analysis paralysis. I think that I have been kind of dealing with this when it comes to clients. When it comes to my business, we are trying to overthink things to the point that we don't move on certain decisions. So, Investopedia has their definition of analysis paralysis as this. It says, analysis paralysis occurs when over-analysis or overthinking of alternatives prevents an individual or a group from making a decision. Okay? So, this also can lead to anxiety because it further says, in investing, analysis paralysis can lead to missed opportunities. Psychologists say that the root cause of analysis paralysis is anxiety. We fear choosing the wrong option. That is a lot to unpack, but we're going to do it in like 10 minutes. Okay, so analysis paralysis. I can definitely say I've dealt with this in my life, especially when it comes to business stuff. Now, I've hesitated on making life decisions about things, but to be honest, it really has fallen more in the business zone. You're afraid to make decisions. You're afraid. I think one of my main fears is being afraid to invest. Being afraid of taking a chunk of money and putting it towards something and then that particular thing not working out. That is such a tough place to be. Not because I haven't invested in things and they didn't work out, but because I have invested in things and they didn't pan out. And then I'm like, that just makes the analysis paralysis even worse, I think. Because when you have the experience of failure when you were stepping out to do something that's not normally what you would do, or stepping out on faith, or some of those things. Sometimes we step out on faith and it doesn't work out. But really, a lot of times we stepped out on what we thought was faith and it didn't work out, but we were stepping out on what we wanted to do and not necessarily the plan that has been set forth for your life. God has a plan for everybody, and we have to choose to be in tune and listen to where it is we need to be and what we need to do. So sometimes we're like, well, I'm going to step out on faith. But God didn't tell you to step out on faith about that. He didn't tell you to step out on faith over there. That was a selfish decision. That was a personal call. Don't put that on God. Well, I'm going to step out on faith, because everybody want to put it on the Lord. Oh, well, I'm stepping out on faith. Not everything is a step out on faith. Some things are just smart decisions. And I truly believe that all of us have been given discernment, but a lot of us don't use it. Some of us, it's harder to use if we're dealing with emotional issues or decision-making issues. things like anxiety can keep you from doing a whole lot of things. It can keep you stuck. It can keep you never getting a passport and traveling. It can keep you never going more than 30 miles outside of the town that you were born in. You know what I mean? Like, that's a real thing. So many people, the overwhelming majority of people, have never gone outside of the town for which they grew up. And that is sad to me, because it means that you are not seeing the rest of the world. You're not interacting with other people that are different than you, even if it's 2 states over. If anybody has ever traveled to a totally different state than where you are from, you will realize that every single state in this country, every single one of the United States, okay, what we know as the USA, every state has its own culture, has its food, it has it, even the next state over. You know, those of us who are in the tri-state area up north, you can go from New York to New Jersey, and there's just certain things that go down in Jersey that doesn't happen in New York, even though New York and New Jersey are known to be cool. Even Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, tri-state area, but you go to Connecticut and it is all New England. It is very Massachusetts like, because Massachusetts is right next door. Then you go to Massachusetts, the food totally different. You're going to see a whole lot more seafood. You're going to see a whole lot more of the influence of Boston, you know, is all over that area, Rhode Island. You know, and I was just talking to another doctor the other day who they summer in the vineyard. And if you're from up north, or you could be outside this area, but if you're from up north and anybody says they summer in the vineyard, you know they're talking about Martha's Vineyard. It is so different. If you compare Martha's Vineyard to, say, Chicago or, you know, or something like that, it's a totally different world. And of course, Martha's Vineyard, you know, being in the upper northeast, in the New England area, it's totally different than going south side Chicago. Totally different world, right? So even if you can get out of your area and expose yourself to other things than what you are used to, purposely put yourself in positions that may make you uncomfortable, but it's going to grow you. It's going to expand your mind, that you won't be so closed off, you know? If you visit the West Coast, it's so different. California is so different than New York. Completely different. 2 different coasts, 2 different things. And forget about it. If you go to Hawaii is so different. Hawaii seems like another country. It doesn't even seem like it's part of the United States. So expand your mind. Go outside of your circle and expand your mind so that you don't end up with this analysis paralysis and you don't make decisions, or you hinder yourself from learning. You hinder yourself from growth, right? So here are some things that I found, some pointers that I found that can help us get out of that, you know, help us fight, if you will, analysis paralysis today. It can help you with making decisions more easily, okay? First of all, you need to understand that you even are dealing with analysis paralysis. So recognize that this is what's happening, right? It's not just, oh, I'm hesitant. This is more than just being hesitant. This is where you completely will not move your life because you are in fear, right? You have some sort of anxiety. Make sure that the decisions that you're making, that you're prioritizing them. Make sure you're putting the things that really matter up front, and the things that really don't matter are in the background. So prioritize your decisions. Okay? Sometimes you need to walk away from something and then ease your way back into it, right? So learn how to breathe and take a break from the crazy of every day. Slow stuff down, right? Now, you can talk to people for advice. Now, I will say this. If you're a person that is dealing with severe anxiety and there may be coupled with possibly depression or something of that nature, this is not a show that we are diagnosing anyone. We are not giving out medical advice. But what I will say is that if you're dealing with things that you feel like this is extreme, and sometimes it comes with panic attacks and things like that, you will definitely want to talk to your doctor. You will want to talk to, and get a recommendation, possibly for a psychologist or even a psychiatrist, because they're going to be able to help you with that piece, because there may be something that you need to address within your mental health. Okay, so again, we're not diagnosing anyone. We're just saying that if you are going through these things that may seem a little extreme, then you definitely should talk to a doctor about that. Okay? All right. So when it comes to asking for people advice, it's great to ask people for advice, friends, family, but also be very careful who you source advice from. Don't just source advice from somebody who just lays on the couch and they don't have nothing else going on in their life. Source advice from people who hustle. Source advice from people who are moving and shaking and doing things. You know what I mean? Because anybody can sit on a stoop and drink a beer and tell you about life. Look at what people are doing in their own lives. Look at what they're accomplishing within their business life, their personal life, whatever. And if you see that they're doing positive things and they're on the move, they're moving forward, that is definitely a great person that you can get advice from. And you don't have to take the advice and do everything they say, but you can take that advice and put it together with what you have going on and tailor it to work best for you. Okay? Now, don't drag out decisions. That's another thing that causes anxiety. When we're hemming and hawing and going back and forth trying to make decisions, make your decisions quickly. Now, we're not saying make crazy and stupid decisions quickly, all right, without having facts, but don't linger. So if you're not going to do something or you're unsure, sometimes unsure means I need to put this to the side for now, that I'm not going to do this right now. That doesn't mean you can't do it later. It doesn't mean you can't go back to it later, but make a quick decision, because you could be having other people hanging on waiting for you to make a decision. So make that decision quickly. All right. Once you've made your decision, make sure to set your deadlines. Not only just set your deadlines, but stick to your deadlines as closely as possible. I know a lot of people in business like to say, well, I'm pretty fluid about things. And let me tell you something. I tried that approach. People will run all over you. People will use and abuse you. Set deadlines and stick to them. And then people will respect your business when they see that you take your business seriously. Okay? Understand where you want to go, right? You may not know the path that you're going to take to get there, but understand what are your goals. Write them down. Make them plain. Speak them. Write them on sticky notes and put them on your bathroom mirror. You're going to look at your bathroom mirror every morning when you brush your teeth before you go to bed. Put those goals, understand what those goals are, and write them down. Okay? Do not overload yourself with information. Oh my gosh. I'm talking to myself with this. Listen, one of my friends teases me and calls me an information bloodhound. And let me tell you something. It's not a lie. It's true. Even as a kid, my parents would tell me that anytime we went on vacation and we were at the hotel, you know how they have like a little rack that has all of the papers of all the places and sightseeing and all the things that you can do. I would grab one of each and read through it, be like, Mommy, Daddy, look at this. I want to go here. I want to go there. Too much information is too much information. And if too much information is too much information, too much information is too much information. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do not overload yourself with too much information, because that will further confuse you. It will further make your anxiety worse, right? So let's review real quick. Recognize that you're dealing with analysis paralysis. Prioritize your decisions. Step back and take a break. Seek advice, mentors, therapists, excellent. Make quick decisions, set your deadlines and stick to them. Understand your goals and limit your information intake so that you don't get overwhelmed. Okay? So that is analysis paralysis. I hope this helps you guys. Follow me at Onyx Queen Media on all social medias, but Instagram and Threads as well. Yes, follow me on Threads. I'm busy on Threads and I'm busy on Instagram. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Ebates is now Rakuten. The Rakuten cashback button is the helper you need to find cash back while you shop. It even applies coupons automatically at checkout, so you'll always be sure to get the best deal. Make sure that the app is running either on your computer or on your phone. Shop as you normally would online, then get paid by check or through PayPal. Check the link in our description and it'll give you all the information that you need. Rakuten, the cashback button.